We're live.
Welcome everyone to Hong Kong by Night on this December 26th, 2015. And today, Johnathan is on a meeting with the Duchess. And the Duchess is holding open meetings today with all of the nobles. And she's doing it in, well, let's just say because she wants to have a closer rapport with the Hissien. She's doing it in one of the traditional medicine shops in a back room. So, Mr. Baylor Knight, whose name I will pull up because I keep forgetting it.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either.
Where the thing is it? It's Zeta Boards, Hong Kong by Night. Come on, get up there. NBC list. Sir Nalryn.
Okay. That's his name.
Yes. He's Sir Nalryn Sar ni Baylor.
Interesting name.
Yep.
Actually, technically, I should probably have Johnathan go by his Fey name more, but whatever. This is what everybody calls him because that's the name he uses. So Johnathan will be waiting for in line for his turn. Probably wearing his armor, but probably doesn't have his sword on him.
Yeah, there's just various nobles with various noble things, and eventually think the line thins, and Nalryn just nods at Johnathan.
Okay. So he'll nod back and he'll go into the room where she's holding her meetings.
All right, and there she is in her complete and utterly pink armor.
He'll give her a formal bow.
She'll nod her head, and she's got her own sword in the sheath with her hands resting on the hilt.
Milady, I was hoping to seek your permission on something.
All right.
The young Squire Riker, he has been his knight who's supposed to be training him, I understand, is the knight who calls himself Phoenix, if I am correct. He kind of pauses there if she wants to interject.
That is what I have been told as well, yes.
It seems to me that he's been neglecting training his squires, both Riker and this other squire of his. Charlie, I believe his name is?
He's been neglecting this entire city.
I came here today to formally ask you to allow me to finish their training. Riker is suffering for the lack of his mentor's training.
I will, given Phoenix's propensity for drama when he doesn't get what he wants, I will allow you to continue their training until he can cease to neglect them.
Johnathan will nod.
It's essentially they're not your apprentices, they're not your squires, but while he's away, keep things going.
He nods. And I presume Sirloin told you of the happenings the other night.
Out of character, I don't know.
Okay, so you're just gonna say she doesn't know in character?
No, I'm saying out of character, I don't know. She would.
Okay, so essentially we had a kindred who not only we tried to bring a kindred in who is not a part of the House of Staves, who we later found out was Sabat, and an infernalist who reflected Sovereign back on Johnathan, and then Sirloin showed up, and the technocracy showed up, and Johnathan is worried about if the Duchess meets this kindred. So he sent Sirloin to warn her. He asked Sirloin to warn her and keep an eye and protect her.
Then yes, she'll nod and say, "Yes, I'm aware."
I'm glad my lady was worried that this Nightwalker would be a threat to our peace in this city. I was hoping to ask permission for the aid of some of the other knights in hunting it down and killing it.
Very well. Sir Nalryn will accompany you.
Thank you, lady. And he'll bow again.
She'll nod. Is there anything else?
I'll think for a second because out of character I need to think if there's anything else I want to talk to her about. And he'll shake his head. No, my lady. Thank you for the audience. And he'll bow one more time and then back out of the room because it's disrespectful to turn your back on someone higher station than yourself.
Indeed. And she has protocol up, so you have to. So.
Okay. And then once he exits, he'll nod to Sir Nalryn and probably head out to go
Actually, you needed
find
to
Riker.
You needed to speak with him about something involving the Wild Hunt.
Oh yeah, I need to speak with him and Des because technically they're the two highest ranking unseelie. So he'll walk up to Sir Nalryn and ask, "Do you have a moment, sir?"
I always have a moment.
I was wondering if you would know how to call the Wild Hunt. And he'll say that in a whisper.
Calling it. That would be interesting. But the Wild Hunt needs a target.
There is a kindred in the city, an infernalist, who can reflect our own powers back at us. She is a threat to the city, and the Duchess has agreed to her destruction. I simply think the Wild Hunt would be a way to assure this destruction.
Give me a moment. I am going to double check mechanics on this.
Yeah, because I actually, out of character, I've been looking it up, and I can't find mechanics for it either. Because I know it's a thing, but I can't find the mechanics for it.
It is a thing, but and generally what the Wild Hunt goes after is the white stag. So now there's lots of stuff on Changeling the Lost, because Changeling the Lost, it's like half the fucking thing. So
Mm-hmm.
and technically it's not only something that the Unseelie do, it's something the Unseelie and the Fianna Elders need to call upon. As the Wild Hunt exists because of the Fianna and the Fae's ancient ties.
Okay. So it'd be something to talk to the Guru about as well.
Yeah. I'm still double checking here. Well, specifically, none of the guru in town are going to know much about it. You need an elder Fianna.
Okay. So that's going to be difficult.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult. That's it. All right. He's going to cross his hands. And he's going to look Johnathan over. He's going to say, "Do you know what the Shadow Court is?"
Vaguely.
There's a difference between being unseelie and being one of the Shadow Court. And I am of House Baelor. And despite wanting to wait until the Duchess's power collapses under her and making my presence known and making myself available to the Duchess, I am still of the Shadow Court. And I am not simply one of the unseelie. And I'm not high enough station to call upon the Wild Hunt, even if I was.
All right.
If it makes you feel better, it's not only something that we have to agree to, but it's something that the guru have to agree to. He smirks a bit and says, it exists because the Fianna dream of hunting so strongly.
All right. I will make sure to speak to the guru.
It may be simply easier to destroy this thing yourself, or ourselves, if what I heard is correct.
Johnathan smiles. Yes, but I'm not quite sure I want to engage this thing without knowing more about it. And the Wild Hunt is probably what was just my first thought for killing it.
Well, generally the Wild Hunt goes after the white stag, and unless this thing happens to be a white stag,
I'm sure we could use a little metamorphosis and have the hunt find her.
Metamorphosis, then you could use my preferred method of combat.
Johnathan chuckles.
Flicker flash to the moon.
I prefer the more esoteric arts of war to something so crude and inelegant, but it is undoubtedly effective.
Incredibly.
Johnathan will kind of bow his head to Sir Nalryn, and he'll, I guess, head out to find Riker and Charlie.
And that scene.
Okay. Do you want to do an outro?
And that scene.
Okay. Hitting the button.